Welcome to this lecture number 12, that is Windows frames and alerts, how to handle all these things in Selenium Webdriver in Java. So let us start with Windows first of all. I have already created one class called as window test, and in there I have demonstrated how you can handle multiple windows. So before we dive into the code, let me explain you a theory of this particular windows. So normally what happens is in a typical Selenium session, at one time there is WebDriver can handle only one window. For example, if you go to the home page of this particular website, right now we are in the one window, that is home page. But if I click on Java, you will notice that it is opening in the second window or second tab, and Selenium will not automatically switch to that window and perform the operations on this particular web page. You will have to first of all switch to that window, and then you can only find the elements or perform the operations in that window. So it is very important for you to switch the context. And even if Selenium has the capability to handle multiple windows like 3, 4, 5, it can work on the one window at a time only, and for that you need to first of all switch to that window and then perform the operations. So let us see how we can switch to the another window. And before that, let me explain you the window handle concept. In Selenium internally stores the ID for each tab or the each window called as window handle. So the window handle of this particular homepage will be different from the window handle of this particular window or tab. And based upon that, it finds out the unique window. So for that, we have one method called as get window handle. As you can see over here, this get window handle returns the handle of the current window simply. Then in this line I have clicked on Java link, and then I have again printed the handle of the current window. Since we haven't switched the context to another window, it will print the old window handle over here as well. Then we have got another method called as get window handles, which is different from this one. Notice that there is extra s, and what it returns is the set of strings or the set of all the handles that are opened by the Selenium. So there are two handles, and size, if you print, it should be 2, since there are two windows at this moment. And if you get the title here before switching to another window, it will print the title of the home page. And this, in this particular for loop, what I have done is that I have used this temporary variable h, that is stands for the window and window handle. And what I'm doing is just iterating through all the handles and then checking if current handle is equal to the original handle. If it is not, it is gonna switch to the new handle like this. This is the syntax to switch to the window. You have to pass the handle on which you want to switch, and once you switch to that window, you can use this get title or whatever operations you want to do, you can do on that particular window context. And switch back to the main window, you can use this particular syntax driver dot switch to dot window, and instead of h you will have to use this original handle, that is oh. So I'm just gonna print this I'm gonna run this program, and then from the output you will understand how this code is working. Remember that we have printed the title before switching to new window and after switching to the window. So we'll notice the difference there. Now I will click on the Java link. Now see, there are two windows at this moment, and now it will go to or switch to another window, that is Java tutorial window, and then print the title of that. So from the output, we will notice that I have printed this current window handle, that is ends with 4a. And if you look at this size, it is 2 after clicking on the Java link. And here we have printed the title before switching the window. So this is the free software tutorial, that is the home page title. And the next loop I have printed the all the handles. So this is the original window handle, and this is the new window handle that ends with C6. And if you notice the title of this after switching to the new window, it is Java tutorial. So that is how you can work with multiple windows in Selenium in Java. Now let us move on to the frames. So frames are basically used to load the data from another website in the same web page. For example, if you go to this particular URL, Selenium test page, you will notice that we have got one frame, and in that frame I have loaded another blog. On the Selenium WebDriver, I have loaded this blog, And the if you inspect this one, you will notice that the name of this frame is G. As you can see, this frame has got this name as this frame has got name as G, as you can see over there. So you can use the name or ID, or you can also use the XPath as well to identify the frame element, and then you can switch to that. So let us see how you can switch to that one. All I have done is went to that particular URL, softforce.org selenium test page, and then over there I'm switching to the frame with the name G. Then I have printed the page source of the frame, new frame, and then once you switch to that frame, you can only work with the elements displayed in that particular frame. You cannot automate the elements that are displayed on the main web page or main window. Like, you cannot access these buttons or anything outside this particular frame. To again come back to the main default content, you have to use this particular method, default content. So that is the significance of that. So what I'm gonna do is just print this particular. So all it is gonna do is it is gonna switch to the frame and then print the page source of that particular frame. All right, so if you look at the output, you will notice that there are lots of page sources printed over there, and that page source is actually from that particular blog page. There is whatever is there in that particular frame is printed over here. Search this blog by based Selenium books. Work with frames in Selenium Webdriver. Now let us move on to the alerts. Now to handle the alerts, you need to use this particular syntax, switch to alert, and this accept method actually clicks on OK button, and then there is another method called as dismiss, which is used to click on cancel button. Before that, let me show you practically how the alert looks like. So this is simple alert, and there is only one button, OK. So to click on this, you have to use accept method of that particular alert, and to click on cancel button, you have to use dismiss method. That's it. So just I'm gonna execute this code, and then you will notice that it is going to that particular page. Then it will click on sign up button and then wait for 2 seconds. By the time alert would have opened, and then it is finally clicking on the OK button by using this accept method. So you can notice that alert is open, and then it clicked on OK as well. So that ends this lecture. That is Windows frames and alerts. So lecture number 12 is finished. In this lecture, we have seen how to handle multiple Windows frames and alerts. I hope you enjoyed this lecture, and looking forward to you joining another lecture on the Selenium Webdriver in Java. Thank you.